Dodgers. Game 2, Wednesday night in New York. Tommy John gives up 3 hits through 7 innings, shuts out the Dodgers, helps himself with his scintillating play in the 5th. With the game scoreless in the bottom of the 5th inning, Larry Milbourne delivers this 2-out double to left to score Willie Randolph to make it 1-0. Yankees add 2 more in the 8th, and Goose Gossage comes out of the bullpen to save another. Yanks win 3-0, lead in the series 2 games to nothing. Tonight, game 3. A gorgeous early evening in Southern California. Dodger Stadium sold out tonight as this ABC Sports presentation is being brought to you by Chevrolet, who invites you to see all the good things for 1982 at your local Chevy dealers. Chevy makes good things happen. By Light Beer, everything you always wanted in a beer and less. By Seiko and your authorized Seiko dealer. This plaque is the sign you can trust to get the best of Seiko. And by the Gillette Atra razor. It pivots to continually adjust and hug every curve and contour of your face. Give it the pivot with Gillette Atra. Hello again, everyone. I'm Al Michaels, and welcome to Dodger Stadium, Game 3 of the World Series, a series that has, of course, been dominated by the Yankees, though neither game has been a wipeout thus far. 5-3 and 3-0 the final scores in games 1 and 2. And the Yankees have done it with some clutch hitting. Watson in the first game, Milbourne in the second. Some great defense with Nettles and Winfield and Randolph. Though Nettles is out tonight, Aurelio Rodriguez, very capable defensively, takes his spot. Fine starting pitching, and of course the one and only Goose. As far as the Dodgers are concerned, they come home, they have their ace, Fernando Valenzuela, going to the mound tonight, but what the Dodgers need is some stock in the lineup. In their 12 postseason games, they have scored only 31 runs and are hitting a collective 204. Do the Dodgers have a home field advantage? Well, Mother Nature may have given them one today. The Dodgers are used to rolling ground in Southern California. A 4.5 earthquake hit L.A. this morning at 10:28. No injuries, no damage, except maybe to some Yankee psyches. We'll find out. Right now, the crowd awaiting the introduction of both teams. Let's go to the PA announcer at Dodger Stadium. He's been here since the park opened in 1962, John Ramsey.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Game 3 of the 1981 World Series between the American League champion New York Yankees and your National League champion Los Angeles Dodgers. At this time, let's meet the American League champion Yankees. Coaches, Yogi Berra. Coaches, Yogi Berra, Mike Ferraro, Charlie Lau, Jeff Coward, Bullpen, Joe Altobelli, and Dom Scala in the bullpen. Outfielder, Bobby Mercer. Third baseman, Greg Nettles. First baseman, Dave Reverie. Outfielder, Bobby Brown. Outfielder, Oscar Campbell. Catcher, Barry Foote. Catcher, Dennis Worth. Pitcher, Tommy John. Pitcher, Dave LaRoche. Pitcher, Rick Russell. Pitcher, Ron Davis. Pitcher, George Frazier. Outfielder, Reggie Jackson. Pitcher, Pitcher, Ron Guidry. Pitcher, Rich Gossage. Infielder, Andre Robertson. Yankee manager, Bob Lemon. And now the starting lineup. Number 30, Willie Randolph, second base. Number 22, Jerry Mumphrey, center field. Number 31, Dave Winfield, left field. Number 14, Lou Piniella, right field. Number 28, Bob Watson, first base. Number 10, Rick Sarum, catcher. Number 27, Aurelio Rodriguez, third base. Number 18, Larry Milbourne, shortstop. And in the bullpen, number 19, the pitcher, Dave Righetti. And now let's meet your Los Angeles Dodgers. Coaches, Manny Mota. Ron Baranowski is in the bullpen. Danny Ozark. Monty Basgall. Mark Cressy in the bullpen. Outfielder, Reggie Smith. Catcher, Mike Solskjaer. Outfielder, Jay Johnstone. Pitcher, Alejandro Pena. Pitcher, Joe Beckwith. Infielder, outfielder, Darryl Thomas. Pitcher, Bob Welch. Pitcher, Bobby Castillo. Pitcher, Dave Goltz. Pitcher, Jerry Rice. Outfielder, Ken Landreau. Pitcher, Bert Hoop. Pitcher, Dave Stewart. Pitcher, Tom Edenpure. Pitcher, Terry Forster. Infielder, Steve Sachs. Pitcher, Steve Howe. Manager, Tommy Lasorda. Now let's meet the Dodgers starting lineup. Number 15, Davey Lopes, second base. Number 18, Bill Russell, shortstop. Number 12, Dusty Baker, left field. Batting fourth, number 6, Steve Garvey, first base. Number 10, Ron Cey, third base. Number 28, Pedro Guerrero, center field. Number 16, Rick Monday, right field. Number 7, Steve Yeager, catcher. And in the bullpen, number 34, pitcher Fernando Valenzuela.
Fernando Valenzuela, tonight's starting pitcher. There he is already in the dugout, having completed his warm-ups. And the crowd all season long with the typical response.
Ladies and gentlemen, to honor America, here to sing our national anthem is a great performer and a great fan of the Dodgers, Tony Tennille.
Would you all please join me now in singing our national anthem, everybody? By the dawn's early light, what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Ladies and gentlemen, the honor of throwing out the first ball today goes to one of the Dodgers' all-time greats and a member of baseball's Hall of Fame, Sandy Koufax.
Sandy Koufax, one of the greatest pitchers of all time. Grew up in Brooklyn, New York, so naturally he would gravitate to the Brooklyn Dodgers. Went to the University of Cincinnati. And it's hard to forget Sandy, all of his greatness, the no-hit games, but above all, as this crowd stands as one to give him the ovation he deserves. And he shows that left arm again. One has to think back to the World Series of 1963, the way it was. Yes, Sandy Koufax would open that series against the Yankees, and he would blow the Yankee hitters down one after another. It seemed almost endlessly. He would set a then World Series record of 15 strikeouts. The final one against Harry Bright, and the Dodgers would sweep the Yankees. Sandy Koufax. So as Sandy goes back to the dugout, we're about ready for the start of Game 3, and we'll be back at Dodger Stadium in a moment.
Here's your chance to get the official 1981 World Series program, a collector's item commemorating the 78th Fall Classic. Send check or money order for $4 to World Series program, Post Office Box 250, Hicksville, New York 11802. Please make checks payable to World Series program. New York residents must add appropriate sales tax. That's World Series program, Box 250, Hicksville, New York. Allow 8 weeks for delivery. The preceding message was furnished by Major League Baseball.
Taking a look at the Dodgers defensively, the durable one, Steve Garvey, who has played in 945 consecutive regular season games at first base. Davey Lopes is at second. At shortstop for Los Angeles, Bill Russell, who is 1 for 7 in this series. And the third baseman, Ron Cey. The same foursome celebrating their 8th anniversary together this season. The Dodger outfielder in left, Dusty Baker, had his best year in '81. Pedro Guerrero again getting the start in center field. And around and right, Monday's hero, Rick Monday, who beat the Expos with the dramatic 9th inning home run to launch the Dodgers into the World Series. Again, Mike Scioscia did most of the catching in the regular season, but it's been Steve Yeager all the way in the World Series, and Fernando Valenzuela on the mound. Valenzuela led the majors in strikeouts with 180. Led the majors in shutouts with 8. Led the majors in drawing power. Willie Randolph to lead things off. Jerry Mumphrey and Dave Winfield to follow. So the Yankees up 2-0. Game 3 here tonight. Games 4 and 5, if necessary, here tomorrow and Sunday. Randolph 0 for 5 in the World Series. Screwball for a strike. The plate umpire tonight is an American League umpire taking his first look at Valenzuela, and that would be Terry Cooney. The strike one pitch. He tries to bunt his way aboard and fouls it at the plate. Jim, what would a pitcher's scouting report on Cooney say?
Well, Terry's a good umpire. I think the biggest pitch that he has trouble with maybe is the curveball. I know we've seen him in the old days when Bert Blyleven, before he went to the National League and came back, he had trouble with his curveball. And basically, he's going to make you throw strikes, which Valenzuela can do. Only walks around a little bit under 3 men a game. And Terry's going to give you a good game, and that's all you can ask of an umpire.
Well, my scouting book says keep him away from Billy Morton.
And vice versa.
Especially in Canada. 0-2 pitch is fouled away. Count holding on Randolph.
When you showed the screwball, Jim, in your analysis of the pitching styles of each pitcher, you pointed out how the screwball fades or tails away from the right-handed bat.
Well, exactly, and he sets it up with a fastball that he can throw either in or away, and there you see a screwball. I think the interesting thing, we talked about how young Fernando is that he adjusts very well. He pitched the first game of the National League playoff and lost to Montreal, and he threw a lot of screwballs. He adjusted, came back, threw a lot of fastballs, and won 2-1.
Count even 2-2 on Randolph. Valenzuela, who spent the regular season for the most part pitching with 4 days rest, is once again thrust into a situation where he is working with 3 days rest. Last pitching on Monday. 2-2 pitch is lifted in the air down the right field line and into the corner. Rick Monday will run out of room, and it's foul. What has become, of course, a classic shot all season long. The close-up of Fernando as he delivers.
It's not something you teach a young pitcher to do, but this is where he gets his momentum. And that right shoulder turns almost towards second base, and if you're going to throw hard, and he's not a Righetti type pitcher that throws 95, but he's throwing 86, 87 miles per hour, and he's got a great screwball and a good curveball. That fastball looks a lot quicker. But I think the thing to look for are his pitches down in the strike zone. That's when he gets hurt, is when the ball's up. And there you see a high fastball. The last 2 pitches have been up. as you said, Al, the whole Dodger pitching staff's been pitching with only 3 days in between starts, something that they'd rather not do. But since they've had to win almost every game the last couple of weeks, they've been forced into this type of rotation.
Randolph fouling it away.
Now you're seeing Willie, who has an excellent batting eye, work Valenzuela. You've learned, for those of you who don't follow baseball closely during the year, that the screwball tails away from a right-hand batter. The secret to hitting it successfully is to go to the opposite field. Go with the fadeaway and hit to right, which is what Randolph has been trying to do up till now.
Valenzuela back to the plate with a Scroogie missing, and Randolph is aboard. So Fernando got out in front 0-2, and he walks Randolph. Willie at first base with nobody out. And Jerry Mumphrey comes up. Mumphrey 2 for 5 in the World Series.
And here you'll just see, you talk about poise. Here's a 3-2 screwball in the first inning to the first batter, something normal pitchers won't do. They go with their strength, maybe their fastball, just a little bit high.
Jerry Mumphrey, his .307 average during the regular season, the tops on the club. Bluffs a bunt, takes a strike with Sagan on the grass at third.
And I think they'd like to get a runner in scoring position. I was talking to Clyde King. He said that with these two pitchers pitching, they might have to give this game to whoever gets a guy to third base, because it might. I think he figures it's going to be a low-run affair, and might look for a bunt or a hit and run here.
0-2 pitch is grounded toward third and backhanded by Say, who goes to Lopes in time there for the fourth.
Close play.
Ron Say going to the line. They erase Randolph with Mumphrey now at first base. 1 out, and Winfield coming up.
And here you see it. The ball's not hit too hard. Say gets to it. Thinks he has plenty of time. You can see Randolph's speed. Just barely out at second.
Close play at second to get him as Dave Winfield comes up. Winfield, no stranger to this ballpark, having spent his entire career at San Diego prior to signing with the Yankees. Dave looking for his first hit in the series. Hit .294 during the regular season with 13 homers and 68 runs batted in. 1 out, no score in the first inning.
He's been held hitless, but it's a little deceptive. He hit 2 shots in the first game of the series, one of which was out around where Gianfrido made the catch on DiMaggio in 47.
It's about 18 rows up in this ballpark. I mean, that's the difference. I think that the right-handed hitters for both teams are going to have a little bit more effect in the games here.
2-0 the count. Mumphrey at first base. 1 out. First inning. The Yankees, of course, with a somewhat short deck again tonight, as Howard pointed out earlier. Reggie Jackson not playing, and the injury to Greg Nettles. So Rodriguez in the lineup at third and batting 7th as the pitch misses outside for ball 3. And Piniella getting the start in right field, and it's an even shorter deck, of course, because Bucky Dent has been out since September. But it proves just how deep the Yankee bench is.
Well, I've always felt when our ball club plays them, it seems like they have about 40 men over on the bench, because they have not only great players that play every day, they have guys on the bench that can come in and do almost an equal job.
And Winfield is aboard. So Valenzuela with control trouble here in the first inning. He went 0-2 on Randolph and walked him. Then the force play, and now walks Winfield on 4 pitches to bring up Lou Piniella.
Very unusual for Fernando. Control problem here. In the meantime, the club professional, Lou Piniella. He's been hitting very well, as you know, in postseason play and in the series. Look at that. Yankees leading hitter, 625, runners in scoring position. But he says he doesn't feel comfortable at the plate. You know, it's an old gag with Lou. When he's hitting 450 over a stretch, he'll say, I'm not right. I'm not comfortable.
Well, he's always friendly to the pitchers, too. He wants to set us all up. But you have a lot of respect for him, and all the pitches he's hit in this World Series so far have been up in the strike zone. You know, you talk about a great hitter he is. He's also a pretty good double play man if you can make a good pitch and get him to hit a ground ball at one of your infield.
Piniella 8 for 20 in postseason play. The Yankees runners at first and second with 1 out. And Fernando misses again. Ball 1.
But he's trying to get him to hit it down. You saw where the pitch was, low.
That's a strike.
Tom Lasorda. He of the many words and many moods.
The full spectrum with Tommy. From gregariousness to doom. Foul away out of play, and the count 1-2.
Yeah, but I couldn't think of too many better PR men for baseball. He does a tremendous job.
I agree with you. There are a lot of people who don't like his act, who prefer the more mild-mannered type, the Bob Lemon, Bill Burden type.
Well, that's easy to say out here, where they almost pack them in, you know, whether they play good or badly, or if they have a mild-mannered manager or not. But Tommy, he not only wins, but I think that he has a lot of charisma all over the country.
Full count. So Fernando with Mumphrey at second and Winfield at first. One away in the first inning.
Well, you've heard so much, read so much about his retention of poise despite his youth, and he's going to have a chance to prove it here now.
The runners go again. The 3-2 pitch is grounded to short. Russell goes to Lopes in time there. One hopper to Garvey to get the double play. So the Yankees send the runners, and the Dodgers still pull off with the play on a sharply hit bouncing ball to Billy Russell.
And here you see a high screwball hit right at Russell. Winfield's running on the play. And here you see Pinella's lack of speed. He gets to the base, but Lopes makes a great play, throws a one-hopper to Garvey for the third out of the inning.
Yankees done in the first after a half. New York nothing, and Los Angeles coming up.
You know, baseball cards are real popular these days. For one Ron Say, I can get a whole case of my favorite beer, Miller Lite. I don't want some watered-down minor league version of a regular beer. I want the less filling beer that tastes great.
Hey, Ace! Give me 2 cases, you can have this baby. Dream on. 1 case. Nope. A 6-pack. Half a can?
The big league light beer, Miller Lite, where less filling tastes great.
Okay, I'll give you 2 cases, and you don't have to take the card. But that's my final offer. Must have a couple of mine already.
Whoa.
For the Yankees defensively, Bob Watson, 4 for 7 in the first 2 games at first base. And at second, the veteran Willie Randolph, the shortstop, and having a fine series, drove in the game-winning run in Game 2. Larry Milburn done a great job filling in for Bucky Dent. And here's Aurelio Rodriguez finally getting a chance after a long career to play in a World Series because of the injury to Greg Nettles. In the Yankee outfield, Dave Winfield. In left, in center field, Jerry Mumphrey. And around in right, with Jackson still out of the lineup, Lou Piniella. Back of the plate for the Yankees is Rick Cerone. And on the mound, the rookie left-hander, called up in May, Dave Righetti. Brilliant second half. He's been brilliant in postseason play. 89 strikeouts in 105 and a third innings. He'll face Davey Lopes leading off with the Dodgers in the bottom of the first inning. Howard talked with the Dodgers second baseman before the game.
Nettles won't be playing tonight. Will this be a psychological lift, at least for the Dodgers?
Well, I don't know about that. The individual replacing him, Aurelio Rodriguez, I assume, has been noted for his defense all his career. Hopefully he won't be able to get to the balls that Nettles gets to, but we're glad that Greg is not in the lineup.
Davey Lopes coming off another off season, hit .206 during the regular year, 5 homers, 17 runs batted in. Some people think this might be his final season in a Dodger uniform.
Well, Davey talks about it. Some days yes, some days no. But what he's really coming off is a simply tremendous play at second base. A throw that, frankly, I didn't think at the time he should have made. Yet he made it. And then Piniella bore out Jim Palmer's statement about if you can get him to hit sharply directly to an infielder, he's perfect double play fodder.
I think it also exemplifies the fact that Lopes knows the players, and he knew Piniella can't run.
Davey Lopes looks at a strike. Lopes, Russell, and Baker in the bottom of the first inning. No score in Game 3. Half swing foul, and the count 0-2.
And I think something that's very important tonight, you can see Terry Cooney, the umpire behind the plate. We talked about the first game, Larry Barnett having the inside protector and the strike zone going down the American League. Now you can see the outside protector, and Righetti is a high ball pitcher, and I would think he'd get a lot of pitches from Terry Cooney tonight.
1-2.
Number the
39.
greatest of all. Number 39. Roy Campanella.
Inside, 2-2. Can't be a fixture at this park. And you'll remember, of course, back at the Coliseum, Howard, when they had Roy Campanella night back in 1959. Yankees came out to play an exhibition game with the Dodgers. 93,103 looked on that evening in tribute to Campanella. 3-2 on Lopes.
Pattern of Valenzuela. 2 quick strikes on Randolph, 3 balls, and finally the walk. 2 quick strikes here, 3 balls. Righetti to Lopes.
Well, if Lopes gets on, they're going to better chance of getting some runs.
Down the line in right field and dropping in for extra bases. Pinella will chase it down, plays the hop perfectly, but Lopes has a stand-up double.
When you get behind hitters 3 and 2, you got to throw a strike, especially to a guy that can steal some bases. Fastball out over the plate, hit right down the line, and you'll see Pinella get a great bounce, or otherwise this ball's 3 bases.
Came off to Pinella the way a hockey puck curls in a rink, right to where he was.
Bill Russell, the batter. That's only the second extra base hit for the Dodgers in the World Series. The other was the home run by Steve Yeager in Game 1. So the crowd immediately comes to life with Russell at the plate. Billy up there to bunt him along. Good bunt, and nobody's there. First and third.
Now that's the attack that they plan to mount in game number 2 against Tommy John. Beautiful execution.
Well, he's sacrificing him over, and he makes a good bunt. Righetti can't get to it because he falls off towards third base. Randolph anticipates him catching it. I know a lot of people would attribute this to being inexperienced. It was just a pretty good bunt, and if anybody's to fault, it's Randolph because he had the only chance of making that play.
Watson at first was retreating back toward the bag. So the Yankee infield will play a double play death with no score and nobody out in the bottom of the first inning. And Dusty Baker, 1 for 6 in the World Series, standing in. Baker hit .355 against left-handed pitching this season. 1-0.
To show you the Dodger futility at the plate thus far in the series, this first inning, it's the first time in the whole series that they've had 2 men on base in an inning.
2-0 the count. So Dave Righetti in a hole here. Righetti just 22 years old.
I'd like to amend that, Al. I mean 2 hits in an inning. They did have 2 men on base. Result of walk and a hit and walks.
But rallies have been few and far between. Bob Lemon, the Hall of Fame pitcher, will go out to try to settle down the rookie left-hander, Dave Righetti, just 22. Righetti, born, raised, lives in San Jose, California, and grew up as a San Francisco Giant fan, so it wouldn't be very difficult for him to hate the Dodgers.
I'm sure he's out there. The last thing they want to happen right now is to have a big inning. I'm sure he's telling them, give him a run.
Well, you said they wouldn't show nervousness as a factor when I discussed it with you, Jim. Yet Righetti clearly is, and Valenzuela did too. Pinella's ball was sharply hit. It just happened to be right to Russell.
Well, form has been reversed in this game. The Dodgers, all the balls they've hit hard, basically been right at people. And Pinella, they got a lucky break. Hit the ball hard, but right at Russell.
2-0 pitch is in there for a strike, and the count 2-1 on Baker. On deck, the cleanup hitter, Steve Garvey. Dodgers with Lopes at third, Russell at first, nobody out. Baker gets under it and pops it up. Willie Randolph, the second baseman, will make the play at the edge of the grass. 1 down. Steve Garvey coming up, 3 for 7 in the World Series thus far.
Now here is the club professional And he claims that he can tell when he's got a pitcher, mentally and emotionally. He watches the pitcher closely, sees if he's stalling for time, sees his posture. Jim, do you find that a valid position, a valid theorem?
Well, I think so. I think all good hitters know what they're doing. Rodney Carew will change his stance according to the pitcher. But he better not wait too long on this 95-mile-per-hour fastball.
Garvey takes up and away, ball 1.
I think if you watch the early playoffs, in fact, you did it in Milwaukee. If any team in the American League, one of the best fastball hitting clubs is Milwaukee, and he threw the ball right by him. Now, there were shadows, but he embarrassed him.
Russell goes as Garvey rips it into the Yankee dugout, and that scatters them, including Rod Guidry, who comes flying out over the top step.
Bobby Mercer came forward as if to say, hey, cut it out.
Line shot right in there. Russell doesn't go this time, and it's up and away.
And that's the pattern on Righetti. I talked to Rick Cerrone. He pitched a great game against us in Yankee Stadium, but he walked the bases loaded in the second inning. Al Bunbury dumped a double, and he came back and shut us out the next 7 innings. And Cerrone says when he gets the ball up, maybe he'll throw a couple of breaking balls to get him back with some rhythm.
Hit foul off to the right.
And there you start Garvey chasing a ball way out of the strike.
Way out.
But it's tough to see, and hate to be redundant, but this guy throws awfully hard.
Down he goes on a breaking pitch. Ran it down and in on Garvey. And Righetti has got Baker to pop out and Garvey to strike out.
Well, here you see a pitch he doesn't throw too often. But the count's 2-2. Garvey got to protect the plate. Good breaking ball down and in, just where you want it.
Well, we've talked about composure with Valenzuela. The Yankees know this young man has it. He's been in crisis after crisis, and somehow he extricates himself. He's not out of this one yet, though. This is a power man.
Bronce 1 for 8 in the first 2 games. 1-0. 1-0 to Shea. Missing just outside. They wanted that pitch. 2-0 the count.
So, keep falling behind. Sooner or later, it costs you. Catches up with you.
Sure does, but Garvey helped him out by swinging a 2-1
That's the
pitch
bad
out of the
pitch.
strikeout.
That high outside pitch.
But Ron Cey is known for his patience, and we'll see right here if he gets a good pitch to hit or he swings at a bad one.
Takes the strike.
That was a good pitch and not a good pitch to hit. That was the problem with that.
And that illustrates his patience. He knew he probably would have trouble handling that pitch, so let's wait for another one. Maybe it'll be a little bit better.
2-1 to Shea. Down and in on him. Same pitch he threw Garvey, and the count is 2-2. Except this one a little harder.
Well, I think it was just a cut fastball, or either a fastball he didn't really throw as well as he liked, and it just kind of sailed in. But
1 run in his last 29 innings. Tough young cookie. What a matchup.
How about 1 home run in 105 innings all season?
Right.
That's even more awesome.
Gorman Thomas of Milwaukee hit it. 2-2 pitch is fouled away. Valenzuela, who worked out of his trouble in the top of the inning. He walked 2 and was bailed out by the double play.
And he seems to have his trouble early in the game, so I'm sure he's happy he got that double play to end the first inning for him.
He gave up the 1 run last Monday at Montreal in the first inning. Fouled away again. So Shea hanging in with the count, 2 balls and 2 strikes.
He's giving him a battle because that was a tough pitch.
Ron Cey, his value to the club became quite evident after he went out. Was hurt in September. Took a pitch off the forearm from Tom Griffin of the San Francisco Giants. Some question as to whether he would see any postseason action. 1 for 8 thus far in the 2 games. The 2-2 pitch to Shea is hit to deep left field, but hooking and going foul.
Some hearts beat with that one.
Well, he hung a curveball, but he hung it inside. And Shea, you have to be a little bit quick. He just threw him a fastball up and away. He fouled it back. Not really looking for a breaking ball with 2 strikes. He's just looking for the ball, and just a little bit quick. Pulled a foul.
2-2 the count. 2 out, 2 on, no score in the bottom of the first inning. Davey Lopes, the runner at third. Bill Russell held on by Watson away to his lead at first. The 2-2 to Say. Is it high in the air to deep left field? Winfield going back. She's gone. Giving the Dodgers a 3-0 lead in the first inning.
Well, you couldn't throw a ball more down the middle and Say gets his arms extended. Good fastball hitter, hits it deep to left.
You go to the well once too often, is the old saying. Righetti falling behind Garvey got away with it. Falling behind Say, he did not.
Curtain call for Say.
As Game 3 gets underway, Ron Say and company are still looking for their first lead.
Come on, Penguin. Nice and easy. Come on now, Say!
2 men on for the Dodgers with 2 out in the bottom of the first.
Righetti at the belt, checking the runners, delivers to Say. Fastball, a high drive into left field. Back goes Winfield, away back. It's gone.
This 3-run home run by Ron Say makes it 3-0. And coming against Righetti, who had given up just 1 homer all season, it provides a clarion call to the home fans that the Dodgers are indeed back in it.
And there's your clutch hit.
Yep, the first one. Guerrero, the batter. Missing high, ball 1. 1-0. So Dave Righetti, who had given up just that 1 home run to Gorman Thomas on the 16th of September during the regular season, yielding 1 to Say here as Guerrero fouls it away. 1-1 on Pete.
Does ballpark make a difference, Jim?
I'm not so sure on that home run, but I think confidence. In Yankee Stadium, you can just kind of throw the ball out over the plate if you're left-handed, let him hit it to deep center or deep left center, and you don't have to really spot the ball that well. Here, ever since 1968, when they really didn't move the fences in, they moved home plate out towards the fences about 10 feet. The ball's carried much better.
One ball, 2 strikes the count. That hit him. So Guerrero will go to first base. Cerrone is going to argue that it hit his bat or that Pedro did not make a complete effort to get out of the way of it. Mild beef.
Here's a slider, and he goes out and thinks it's a fastball. Really can't get out of the way. Once again, you see him hit it on the bottom of the right arm.
So watching over to chat with Righetti, the Yankee bullpen has not been active. They're shuffling some chairs down there right now as Rick Monday comes up. Guerrero as Monday hits it softly to the right side. Watson drops, picks it up, throws to Righetti, covering, not in time. And all the way to third goes Guerrero.
Well, the Yankees showed confusion, indecision, and an easy play becomes a difficult one.
Well, it's a play you practice in spring training every day, maybe 6 weeks. And the only thing that Righetti did wrong was not get to the bag as quickly as he can. Watson, of course, fumbled the ball. But if Righetti's at the bag, I would think that Monday would have been out.
You are right.
They're going to score that, a base hit.
You're putting me on.
They just flashed hit on the board.
He's arrived early.
Steve Yeager pops it up on the right side, and Watson will be able to handle this one. But in the first inning, the Dodgers send 8 men to the plate. 3 runs, 4 hits. The man responsible for the scoring right there. Say's 3-run homer. Leave 2 after 1. 3-0 Los Angeles. That's Los Angeles. Montreal, I guess around 40 today, but the Dodgers winning on Monday, so it's 79 degrees. And the matchup of rookies tonight. Here they are, the youngest starting pitchers in World Series history. You'd have to go back to 1913. Joe Bush at the age of 20.
Well, he went against Jeff Tesreau, who was only 24.
You were there, right?
Probably. I'll tell you, Lasorda has accomplished his big aim. He said the one thing we have to do tonight, speaking of his Dodgers, is get ahead. And they got ahead. And the realization of having to make up a 3-run lead against Valenzuela is a grim one. There's Tommy. Just taking it nice and easy now.
Well, that's basically his game plan.
Yeah, say
a 3-run home run.
Sure. Say it's a 3-run home run. He's a genius.
Bob Watson, the batter. A strike. That's Weaver's game plan. Not the long ball.
Exactly. And, you know, but I think a lot of the writers were saying down on the field, and it's really true, is that the Dodgers, they lose 2 games, everybody's bad-mouthing, they're a bad team. I'm not sure that's the case.
Hit in the air to center field and misjudged by Carrero, but it doesn't matter at all. Pedro started in on it, and Watson hits it out. So the Bull, playing in his first World Series, has his 2nd home run in the 3 games.
Now you talk about giving a team an impetus when they've just given up 3 runs. That, my friend Jim Palmer, is the way to do it.
Well, exactly. And you're going to see a high screwball. He just hangs it out over the plate. Watson, a lifetime 300 hitter, also can hit the ball a long way. Might even be an out in Yankee Stadium, but in Dodger Stadium, it's over the fence.
Rod is hitting .571. He's having a big series, 4 for 7. Of course, you remember the home run he hit off Royce to right center field. Strike 1 pitch to Bob, screwball, and that's hit to dead center. Going in on the ball is Guerrero, and it's going to go in the seats for a home run.
Yeah, but you see where the ball was, Benny. That's what I'd say. Fernando in the first inning was up with most of his stuff, as Righetti was. Fernando was scared up and over the plate. You can't throw anybody up there and expect not to get a chance for that ball to go in the seats.
3-1 as Rick Cerone stands in and looks at a screwball for a strike.
In both innings so far, Valenzuela is getting his pitches up. And it's interesting you think about impetus, Howard, is when your team scores 3 runs, you want to go out there and shut them down.
It's a deep left field and into the corner. And it's a fair ball bouncing back to Baker. The throw coming into second, but not in time. And Cerone just misses a home run. The very low fence in the left field corner.
I think we're going to see an argument here.
Dodgers got a big break there because I thought it was a home run. Lemon going out to challenge.
The fence very low, and the fans can reach over in addition. We'll take another look at it here.
And it's a high fastball. It's not a bad pitch as far as being off the plate, but I think it illustrates, and here you see the ball. You have 6 umpires in a World Series, so he's right out there. Looks like it hits the top of the railing.
The pipe on the top of the fence. And back in. Correct call.
Well, let's see this angle. This is why somebody questioned me before the game. Again, the old question, the value of the replay. Now look at it. What'd you say?
Right off the railing.
Off the pipe. As Baker plays it perfectly. Cerone winds up with a double, and Aurelio Rodriguez swings and misses. So the call made by the left field umpire, Larry Barnett of the American League. Cerone at second base. Nobody out, second inning. 3-1 Dodgers. Aurelio Rodriguez, long career with California and Detroit, and now finally in a World Series.
Now that was a Valenzuela pitch.
Who was it yesterday who said, doubting Valenzuela's age, that Rodriguez probably faced him 10 years ago in the Mexican League?
I asked him if he had any of his, they're both from Mexico, if he had any of his Mexico scouts give him a report.
Hit in the air to right field and deep enough to advance the runner. Cerone will tag. Monday makes the catch. And Rick will move along 90 feet to third with 1 down. In the Dodger bullpen, Dave Goltz throwing here in the second inning.
Number 18.
Rodriguez did his job. He didn't get the hit to right field, but he got the runner to third base, and if they get the run in here, they're right back in the ballgame.
They certainly are, and what's interesting is that Fernando hasn't looked any part of the Fernando Valenzuela. Jackson made an interesting point to me before the game. He said, "What's all the hullabaloo?" He said, "I'm not knocking this kid," but he was 8-0, and he finished the year 13-7. Somewhere along the way, point Jackson was making, he began to become known to the hitters.
Larry Milbourne fouling it at the plate. Manager of the Giants right there, Frank Robinson.
What a great man.
A great player, too.
Yes, sirree.
Right here in 1966, back-to-back home runs. Brooks and Frank in the first inning put us out in front against Drysdale when I played for the Orioles.
I sometimes felt he won you half your 248 career victories.
And I took every one of them, too, Howard. I'm well aware that most of the hitters won my games.
1-1 the count. Dodger infield is back, and it's outside. 2-1 the count. Say, even with a bag at third, everybody else is back. So a ground ball anywhere except the third baseman would score Cerrone.
And that's unusual. I'm surprised not to see Garvey playing in because he doesn't have a whole lot of power, Milbourne, to right field, and he can lay a bunt down the first base line and get that run in, and they're back in the game.
He goes that way and hits it through for a base hit. So it's 3-2 as Cerrone comes in to score. Valenzuela in trouble in the first inning, worked out with a double play. Now the homer by Watson, the double and near homer by Cerrone, a long drive by Rodriguez, and a line single by Milbourne.
Remember what we said before the contest or at the very advent of it. The way to hit the Valenzuela screwball is exactly the way Milbourne just did.
Well, that was a fastball, but basically, when you face Fernando, like you said, you're looking for a ball away. And you got to give the Yankees credit for getting back into the game, but basically, Fernando is not making good pitches. They're all up in the strike zone. I don't care if they're up or not. You still have to hit them, but for him to be successful, he's going to have to get the ball down.
Righetti lets it go by. Up there to bunt, the count 1-1 with Say in shallow at third. Garvey has been charging on the last two pitches from first. Righetti already squaring and laying one down. That'll advance the runner. Garvey will go back to Lopes covering 3-4 on the sacrifice. And Milbourne is in scoring position with two down. To the top of the order now, and Willie Randolph, who drew a walk in the first inning. Randolph takes inside, ball one.
Righetti did his job.
First time he's had a bat in his hands this year.
Might be ever. He's so young that I think they had the DH in the International League. May never have hit before.
2-0. Going back to high school, he played a lot of outfield and first base.
Had a good swing. I watched him in batting practice. A good extension, had a little bit of power.
2-0 pitch is outside, ball three.
Oh, is this guy struggling?
3-0, Jerry Mumphrey on deck. Gold still throwing in the Dodger bullpen. There he is. Taking all the way, and it's a strike on the corner, 3-1.
Wasn't an easy strike to hit either.
No, but Willie did his job. He kind of ducked it. Borderline high strike. But as we've said, Randolph's very capable of doing it every time he comes up to the plate.
And outside for ball four. So Valenzuela has walked his third man. That's the second time he's issued a walk to Randolph. Runners at first and second, and Jerry Mumphrey will be coming up.
Once again, Larry Milbourne's name comes up in the middle of a Yankee rally. He has simply been amazing. But then little Brian Doyle was in the '78 World Series when Randolph was out. Right man, right place, right time.
Weekly hit back to the mound on a hop. Valenzuela throws him out, and that's that for the Yankees. But they come up with a couple of runs. 3 hits, including the home run by Bob Watson after 1.5. 3-2, Dodgers. Dodger Stadium in Los Angeles. Symmetrical ballpark, 330 down the line.
Batting ninth, number
395 to the Straightaway Center, about 377 to what would normally be the alleys. There are markings that say 370 and 385 at various spots along the wall. It's his town. There's no question about that.
There's also no question about the fact that he has been a very shaky pitcher for 2 innings. He has thrown 50 pitches, 25 in each inning.
And he leads off here by looking at a strike.
And he's lucky to have only 2 runs scored against him. And in a moment, Jim Palmer will explain why Mumphrey hit so weakly back to the Bucks.
Well,
0-2 on Fernando.
Okay, there's a couple of reasons. Number one, he made a pretty good pitch. And number two, Mumphrey's trying to pull the ball. You cannot go up there.
Do it. He turned the wrists over. Manny Mota says on the same team as Fernando. The way to hit him is keep those wrists straight and go to the opposite field if you're a right-handed hitter.
3-2 the count. On deck, the top of the order, Davey Lopes.
I think psychologically, the first thing I ever learned when I came into baseball was you never want to walk the opposing pitcher, which he just did there.
Fernando Valenzuela.
From an 0-2 count. This time I don't think Lemon will be so patient.
And the Yankee pen will stir again. Frazier was up earlier as Davey Lopes comes up. So Valenzuela works his way aboard. It was a great scene earlier this season here at Dodger Stadium. Valenzuela's pitching against the Giants early in the year as Fernando gets the jacket at first base. He's pitching a shutout. He's striking out, I guess, 8 or 9 through 7 innings. He has 3 hits in his first 3 times up. He comes up for the 4th time and grounds out. He goes back to the dugout, and Lasorda gives him the type of look, get out of here. What do I need with you? Frazier in the pen for the Yankees.
Mildly resembles facially Ron Guidry with the mustache.
Much taller. I said, what is Ron doing about 6'4"? I saw him the other day.
Davey Lopes looks at a strike. 0-1.
And there we saw the breaking ball, and as Cerrone says, when he gets in a bad groove with his fastball, and I think he was on Valenzuela, walked him after being 0-2, came back with a breaking ball, was able to throw it for a strike.
Lopes bluffing a bunt to draw Rodriguez in from third and Watson from first, and the count is 1-1.
He appears to be forcing himself.
I'm not so sure about that, Howard, but his problems, as you know, before this season were ones of control. Seems like he's back in that groove now where he's having trouble throwing strikes.
Lopes laying one down, fielded by Cerrone. He looked at second, settles for the out at first. Randolph covers, and Valenzuela moves up 90 feet. 1 away in the second inning. So the Dodgers, who lead 3-2, 1 out, have Valenzuela at second, and Bill Russell bunted for a base hit in the first inning. Toward the middle, but backhanded by Randolph at second. Throws to first for the out, and Valenzuela moves along to third. 2 down. One thing I've noticed, Jim, in this series, the Yankee scouting report on the Dodgers is very good as to where the Dodgers are going to hit the ball. The Yankee infielders and outfielders have been positioned almost perfectly 90 to 95% of the time.
I agree with you. It seems that way. I mean, a lot of the balls have been hit very hard in that area, but Randolph plays most hitters up the middle, and there, of course, Righetti made a good place. The ball wasn't hit very hard, but the first 2 games, they were playing exactly where they should have been.
Baker popping it up, and Watson will make the catch, and that's that for the Dodgers in the second inning. No runs, no hits. Leave Valenzuela at third. We go to the third. 3-2 Dodgers. Dave Winfield will be leading things off for the Yankees in the third inning. Al Michaels, Howard Cosell, Jim Palmer at Dodger Stadium in Los Angeles for Game 3 of the World Series. Day games tomorrow and, if necessary, Sunday. Game 6 and 7, if necessary, back in New York Tuesday night, Wednesday night. Dodgers lead 3-2. Winfield, Piniella, and Watson facing Valenzuela. Winfield drawing a walk his first trip. Valenzuela, who averaged just under 3 walks per 9 innings during the regular season, has walked 3 tonight, has not struck out anybody. Foul at the plate. 0-1 the count. Should report one of the Dodger rookie relief pitchers, Alejandro Pena, is in the hospital. Taken there this morning with a bleeding ulcer. It was Pena who collapsed in the shower in New York the other night. Came back with the team and hospitalized this morning. To the count. 0-2 pitch is up high. Ball 1.
Now David, who likes that arm extension and who often hits to right, should be able to cope with Valenzuela.
Possibly. Not if he makes a good pitch, though.
Which there you saw. Perfect. First strikeout for Valenzuela. One gone here in the third inning. Lou Piniella better. Dick Clark has to be, what, 26 years old, Howard?
He is utterly ageless. He's more like 18.
I used to watch him when I was 8. He looks younger than I do.
He'll be the host of
Maybe he is.
American Bandstand's 30th anniversary special, airing Friday, October 30th, 8 to 11 p.m. 30th anniversary of American Bandstand. The kids that were on 30 years ago are going to look older than Clark. Piniella fouling it away, 0-1. Half-swing base hit into center field. Lou guiding the ball over second for a base hit. Hit number 4.
Well, we talk about what a gifted hitter Piniella is. Goes with the pitches. Here's just a screwball out over the plate. A little bit up, but not a bad pitch. But Lou's patient. He wants to go to right field.
Of course. It's the only way. Yankees have 4 hits. One was pulled to left by Cerrone. He got a high fastball. Here is the hitting hero for the Yankees in this World Series thus far.
Bob Watson with a home run his first time up tonight. Looks at a strike. 1-1. Great throw, of course, for Watson, playing in his first World Series after a fine career, mainly spent with Houston and some time at Boston, to play in a World Series and to do it in his hometown. 1-1.
Well, I think he's always been underrated. There's a guy I know that you saw play for some years in Cincinnati, Lee May. Look at his statistics, almost as good as Reggie Jackson, but how many people really know that Lee May had such a fine career?
Great comparison.
Same with Watson.
1-1 pitch. The runner goes, and it's popped up right side. Davey Lopes going out. Piniella will have to hustle back as Lopes makes the catch and throws to Garvey, but not in time. Steve off the bag. So with Piniella going, it took Lou an extra moment or two to find out where the ball was, and he had to hustle back to avoid getting doubled off.
Not a particularly difficult play, but a play that most second basemen have to be very adept at it. And here Watson, he's a hitting hero. They finally get the fastball up and in on him. It's a hit and run. I don't know if you'll be seen, but Pinella's almost back at second base, and he gets back to first just in time.
Well, it wasn't really close because Garvey was off the base and out toward the beginnings of right field.
Rick Cerrone with a count 1-0. I think with 2 out, third inning. The Dodgers got 3 in the first on a 3-run homer by Say. The runner at first here is Piniella. The Yankees counted with 2 in the second. Watson with a home run. Larry Milbourne drove in Rick Cerrone with a second run. Hit high in the air to deep left center field. Guerrero going back and out of room. Gone.
Well,
so Rick Cerrone, who just missed a home run, hitting the pipe along the top of the fence and settling for a double, makes sure of this one. And the Yankees are on top 4-3.
You could see it coming. Rick, the only Yankee batter to get around, and he's gotten around twice.
And here you see another screwball. It was down, but down the middle, and it's drilled to left center.
Rick Cerrone, right-hand hitting catcher, 1-for-1. Valenzuela delivers, screwball whacked to left center field. Back for it goes Guerrero on the track to the wall. It's gone, and the Yankees lead 4-3.
Rick hit only 2 during the regular season, and tonight he has 1 7/8.
Now we've got to find George Steinbrenner.
Rodriguez taking high, ball 1.
Remember all the fuss that was made about the verbal altercation?
No, they only won 6 games in a row since then.
That's right.
Strike at the count, 1-1.
Dodger Stadium is benefiting the Yankees at the moment, because that belt by Cerrone would not have been close to a home run at Yankee Stadium.
The 1-1 pitch is up and away, and the count 2-1. Those are numbers you don't often see through 2 2/3 for Fernando. Weekly back over the mound. Lopes will have a tough play and throws it by Garvey and into the photographer's well. And Rodriguez will be given second base. Little chopper. It got by Fernando and over him, and Lopes can't
Well, he
throw him
has
out.
plenty of time, Al, and he just makes a bad throw. Garvey is supposed to be known for scooping balls. Just does not come up with it. Not a very good throw, but if things are going well, that's the kind of play that you make.
It's an error all the way on Davey Lopes. And now they have ruled it a base hit, an infield single, and a throwing error to give him second as Larry Milburn gets an intentional walk. They'll take their chances with Righetti, so with first base open. Valenzuela starts him with a breaking pitch for his strike. 1-1.
And here you see the difference between the American and National League. With the DH in the American League, you wouldn't have the pitcher coming up. This is a way for Fernando to get out of this inning and still be in the ballgame.
0-2.
Yeah, but the commissioner of baseball has to get into the act, it seems to me, sooner or later. This game must be made uniform. Either you have the DH or you don't.
It's 100% right. I think that's everybody's sentiments.
Got him swinging. So down he goes on 3 pitches, but before the Yankees go out in the 3rd inning, they do some heavy damage. Cerrone with a home run, 2 runs, 3 hits, an error, leave 2 after 2.5. 4-3 Yanks. Going to the bottom of the 3rd inning. 3rd game of the 1981 World Series before a sold-out crowd at Dodger Stadium. The Yankees leading in the series 2-0 and leading tonight 4-3. The Dodgers to send up Steve Garvey, Ron Cey, and Pedro Guerrero.
Now that Lemon has not only gotten back into the game, but the Yankees have taken the lead, he's not going to be that much more patient with Righetti. On the other hand, Lasorda sticks with Valenzuela, which may be a kind of mean, silent memorandum on what he thinks of his bullpen.
Steve Garvey looks at a strike. 0-1. Ripped into center field for a base hit. So Steve Garvey has his 4th hit of the series, and the Dodgers have the leadoff man on in the 3rd.
Here comes Ron Cey, and here's what the Penguin did last time up. First inning, 2 men on, 2 out. And deep in, 15 rows up, left field seats, the Dodgers had achieved a 3-0 lead. And Lasorda said, that's what we've got to do, get out front. But they couldn't stay out front. It's 4-3 Yankees at this moment. Here we go again.
Cey up with Garvey at first base. Nobody out. 1-0 in the Dodger bullpen. That's Tom Niedenfuhr, who pitched very well in relief in Game 1. And Frazier is still throwing in the Yankee bullpen, back of Righetti. The 1-0 to Cey. Low, ball 2. 2-0 count. 3-0.
Right there is your overthrow, Howard, as you were talking about earlier.
Forcing himself. He's lost his, at least for this occasion.
Well, he told us in the interview that he was going to go right after him, and then when a guy takes one of your better fastballs and hits it 18 or 15 rows up in the seats, and you get 1-0, you throw a breaking ball. Then when you go behind 2-0, you try to throw a little bit harder than you're maybe capable of doing.
If Say gets on, I would suggest that you'll see Mr. Lemon rather promptly.
He loses him. So Righetti has now walked 2. He's also hit a man. Here comes Lemon. He's given up 5 hits. And Pedro Guerrero will be coming up. So the second visit tonight for Lemon, who's had Frazier up.
This is not a visit.
3 occasions, and that will do it for Righetti.
This is a dismissal notice.
Coming in here in a situation where the Dodgers have Garvey at second and Ron Cey at first. Nobody out, 3rd inning, and the Yankees holding on to a 4-3 advantage. Pedro Guerrero coming up here. Watson ready to charge in for a prospective bunt from first. And Rodriguez, as you can see, shallow at 3rd. Rick Monday is the man on deck. Guerrero up there to bunt, takes outside, ball 1. Guerrero already squaring and bunts foul at the plate. 1-1. Guerrero lays one down toward 3rd but foul, and the count is 1-2.
Tell you an interesting story about why they brought Frazier up as you look at a troubled Tom Lasorda. What he really said just then was Guerrero can't bunt, but we learned that the other day. Anyway, Gabe Paul, former president of the Yankees, who now runs the Indians, was discussing some potential trades with George Steinbrenner, the Yankee owner. And we'll continue the story after this pitch as play develops.
1 ball, 2 strikes, the count on Guerrero. Rodriguez and Watson have now moved back with 2 strikes. And a breaking ball is popped up in foul ground. Watson going over, might have a play, but no. During the regular season, he might have had a play on that for sure, but you've got a temporary area there with 3 rows of seating, and that took any chance away from Watson as you look at the people occupying the temporary seats.
Quickly to resume the story, Phil Segui, who was under Gabe Paul with the Indians, saw something in Frazier at Columbus. So as they were discussing a sequence of potential deals, Paul said, why don't you throw in that kid Frazier? Steinbrenner is no dope. He knows Paul knows people.
Down goes Guerrero.
Big pitch. And within a matter of days, George Frazier was brought up by the Yankees.
Well, here you see a low and away sinker. You can't make a much better pitch. Guerrero swings right through it. You saw the ball go right underneath his bat, and it's just a matter of execution. They called on Mercer to bunt the other night. They got their 2nd and 3rd runs because of that.
So the runners remain at 1st and 2nd. Garvey at 2nd and Cey at 1st, and Rick Monday is the batter. Monday reaching on an infield single in the 1st inning.
And this is the kind of pitcher that Rick Monday is effective against because he likes the ball down in the strike zone, and Frazier's a low ball pitcher.
Monday inside outs it to left field, relatively deep but playable, and Winfield makes the catch, and the runners have to hold. 2 down in the 3rd inning.
Let's see if he lets Yeager hit for himself.
I would think we'd see Socha because after Frazier, you're probably going to see Ron Davis and Gossage.
You will see Socha. Mike moving over toward the bat rack.
Oh, does this burn Yeager up? Oh.
Well, he wants the Dodgers to win, and he knows what his role is. He hadn't played all year. I doubt if he's sitting there thinking that he ought to be playing right now. You'd like to see Socha come up and get a base hit.
That's exactly why he wants to get out of here, Jim. He thinks he should be playing right now.
So Mike Socha, who took over this year as the Dodgers' regular catcher in his first full season. His numbers there, but hitless, as you can see, in his last 12 at-bats in postseason play. He reaches out, grounds it to short. Milburn with a long throw, and he gets him. So the Dodgers, with 2 on, nobody out, can't score. We've played 3 full. It stays 4-3 Yankees.
We're back live at Dodger Stadium. Steve Yeager has just gone down the runway into the clubhouse. We talked with Yeager openly about his wanting to leave. Direct question, Steve. It's been reported over and over again that this hasn't been a happy year for you. You resent being platooned. Is it true that you want out of here once and for all?
Well, Howard, I am very dissatisfied with not playing every day. I felt that I had a good spring training, and that's what they wanted me to do. And to set the bench and have 86 at-bats all year long, I would like to go someplace and play every day. And that's no reflection on Tom Lasorda, because he's going against the left-hand in the platooning system, or it's no reflection against the management. I just want to play. I do not feel right coming to the ballpark and sitting on the bench and watching everything go on about me.
All right, telling it like it is. Al?
Well, the Dodgers trailing in this one 4-3 as Scioscia comes out to take over back of the plate in the fourth inning. Valenzuela going to work. On the top of the New York Yankee batting order, it'll be Willie Randolph, Jerry Mumphrey, and Dave Winfield. Randolph drawing 2 walks tonight. Valenzuela has walked 4. One of those was intentional. Willie 0 for 5 in the series thus far. The 1-2 pitch, breaking ball, shot toward Russell, waits for it, comes up throwing, gets it. 1 out in the fourth inning. This program, an exclusive presentation of ABC Sports. Let's pause 5 seconds to allow our local stations to identify themselves.
WABC TV, New York.
Fourth inning at Dodger Stadium in Game 3. Al Michaels, Howard Cosell, Jim Palmer with you. The Yankees battling from behind and leading 4-3. 1 out of the fourth inning. And Jerry Mumphrey hits a bouncer down to short. Instant replay. 6-3 in the book. 2 down.
This is the first inning. Valenzuela has looked like Valenzuela. Maybe, as Jim says, he can get it together.
Well, he's got 2 outs on 2 good curveballs. I would think that Mumphrey's probably going back to the dugout talking to himself, because
he fell prey to the same thing again.
Exactly. Also, he hasn't seen it. He saw a screwball last time, but I think it's probably the only curveball other than the one this inning they threw to Randolph that he's gotten over all night.
Dave Winfield has walked and struck out. Dave, despite hitting the ball hard on occasion in the series, still hitless, 0 for 8 in the 3 games. 1-0. 2-0 now on Winfield.
That last was the pitch Dave swung and missed on for a strikeout his last time at the plate.
On Fernando's face that he knows that he just doesn't really have command of all his pitches tonight.
3-2 pitch is ball 4. So Valenzuela with his 5th walk and 4th unintentional walk, and Lou Piniella coming up. Lou has hit into a double play and single to center. Piniella lines it to left field, but right at Dusty Baker for the out. For the Yankees here in the 4th. No runs, no hits. Leave Winfield aboard after 3.5. The Yankees on top of the Dodgers. 4-3 as we see it again. The line shot off Piniella's bat right into the glove of Dusty Baker. Bottom of the 4th inning at Dodger Stadium. The Yankees on top 4-3 in Game 3. Valenzuela the leadoff. And then we'll see Lopes and Russell. Fernando, a .250 hitter during the regular season. Grounded to short. Milburn on the second hop. 1 gone.
Fernando cost the Dodgers $120,000 after a protracted, complex negotiation conducted by Al Campanis, who went down to Mexico City for the initial meeting with the owner of the Yucatan Ball Club's son. They began at 50,000, and then they went up and up and up to 120. He learned to throw and refine the screwball in 1 week's time, according to Campanis. Does that make sense to you, James?
No, I thought Mike Cuellar, who pitched for us for years and had a tremendous screwball, really a great career in Baltimore, tried to teach me in Japan one year when we were over there in '71. I'm still trying to learn. No idea.
Davey Lopes, the batter, 1-0 the count. 1 out, base is empty. Lopes grounding at the third, and Rodriguez does his Nettles imitation and throws him out.
I tell you, Rodriguez he doesn't have an arm; he has a shotgun.
Shortstop.
Well, I've been playing for 17 years, and I've never seen anybody with a better arm at third base. If you're going to miss Greg Nettles, I couldn't think of a better backup third baseman to have. And here you see you can't really see the speed of the throw, but he has an accurate, strong arm. Much stronger than Nettles.
Right.
2 down, Bill Russell, the batter, bunted for a base hit and grounded out. The 2-1 pitch. And it's 3-1. Dusty Baker.
And as Reggie still sidelined, he really wanted to give it a go today. He was determined. He said, even if it's the last game I play. Strike 2.
Full count.
But wisdom set in the late going.
And here you see a 3-1 fastball. Russell liked to walk, give Baker a chance to come up. The ball comes back. 3-2 pitch right here.
Fouled away, so we'll do it again. Howard, what odds would you give on Jackson being back with the Yankees next year?
Knowing George, I'd say 50-50, maybe 60-40 that he would be back.
Reggie Jackson will be able to test the market if that's what he desires. 3-2 pitch, line by, diving Rodriguez for a base hit. Winfield getting it back in, so Russell is 2 for 3 tonight, and that's his 3rd hit in the World Series.
Here you see a high fastball. Rodriguez doesn't have time to get it into left field for a base hit. I think a general philosophy of pitchers is when you run the count to 3-2, you don't want to walk them. You want to take advantage of your fielders and hope that the ball is hit at someone. That one, of course, wasn't.
Dusty Baker has popped out twice. Baker in the World Series is 1 for 8. Up and in. The hit by Russell, the first off Frazier. Russell at first base, held aboard by Watson with 2 down in the 4th inning. Baker hits a curve on the ground to Rodriguez. He'll go the easy way to Randolph for the force. And that's that for the Dodgers in the 4th inning. No runs, a hit, leave 1. Through 4 it remains. Yankees 4, Dodgers 3. Game 3, the Yankees on top 4-3. Go to the 5th inning. Watson, Cerrone, and Rodriguez. Watson homered, popped out. 2 home runs in the series thus far. Goes down the line and right. It's curling and staying fair and bouncing into the corner and touched by a fan reaching out for a ground rule double.
He is really having a ball. That's his 6th hit of the World Series. What a touchdowns in the sky, old-timer.
Well, the book on him is to throw him inside. That ball doesn't get in. You just can't pitch him in the middle of the plate. He's too good a hitter to do that, and doesn't hit the ball that hard, but goes to right field as well as anybody in the league. And here you see the ball with that kind of spin. It's going to kick right. And I think you'll see a fan. Well, you didn't see it, but a fan reached over and interfered.
Watson is now 16 for 38 in the Yankees postseason play. That's .421. The new Mr. October. Rick Cerrone takes outside, ball 1.
Valenzuela still on thin ice. Lasorda still not going to the bullpen.
1-1 in the bullpen. Niedenfuhr throwing for the 2nd time.
With his recent effective performance, a couple of 3 innings, maybe Lasorda will place some renewed confidence in him.
Well, I talked to Tom. He was happy. He said great pitch in the World Series. Even better when you get your breaking ball over. Makes that fastball a little bit more effective.
1-1 pitch is outside. 2-1 the count on Cerrone. 2-2.
And there you saw him try to take that screwball and go the other way with it.
2-2 pitch. Got him swinging. So Cerrone can't move the runner over. He's gone on strikes. That's number 3 for Valenzuela. And it brings up Aurelio Rodriguez, setting up an interesting matchup with Valenzuela facing Rodriguez. Only one other Mexican player has ever played in a World Series. That was Bobby Avila of Cleveland back in 1954.
Don't remind Lemon of that.
Indians and the Giants.
It was Avila who was at the 247-foot mark at the old Polo Grounds in front of the right field fence, right by the foul line, waiting for Dusty Rhodes' pop fly to come down. It came down in the first row, and it beat Bob Lemon in the opening game of the '54 World Series.
Rodriguez fouling it away.
And the usually imperturbable Lemon became a study in violence.
You know, there was a great scene out here yesterday. You talk about Bob Lemon at a workout. The Yankees came out here yesterday after flying in. And normally the manager, not normally, always, the manager suits up for a workout. But not Lem. He just sat in the dugout in his suit.
I thought he was a sports writer.
0-1 pitch. Swinging the rest of the count is 0-2.
But I knew he wasn't because other writers were talking to him. And I know they don't talk to him themselves.
Well, after giving up an inning-opening double to Watson, suddenly Valenzuela has thrown perhaps better than he has all game. Striking out Cerrone and now getting a 2-strike count.
0-2 pitch is out over the plate, but bounced down to Davey Loaf. That'll advance the runner. 2 down as Bob Watson scampers over to third. 2 away, and Larry Milburn coming up. Milburn with a base hit to drive in the run in the second inning and walked intentionally in the third.
And I think we'll probably see him get walked intentionally again.
And Socha putting up the hand, and he will be. So Milburn will get aboard for the third time.
Gentlemen, I've decided I like the designated hitter rule once and for all.
You do?
More action.
Frazier, the batter. Frazier hitting for the first time this season, but the graphic showing 1 for 4. Of course, he came over from the National League, where he did come to bat on occasion with the Cardinals. So it doesn't look like it with that swing. 0-1.
He waited on that swing till the ball was past him.
Well, he's trying to go to right field, Howard.
That's true.
I'm not so sure. I think he's just trying to swing, and if he hits it, it will be deemed a success.
Put it in play. 0-2 the count.
After that swing, I think he is just trying to put it in play.
Create some action, any kind of action.
I figure not having a pitcher come up in the American League costs a pitcher, if he pitches somewhere between 250 to 300 innings, maybe 60 or 70 strikeouts a year. And here's a perfect example again. If you get this guy out, you're still in the game. If you had to face a bona fide hitter, it makes it much more difficult.
Strike 3. Gets him on 3. Valenzuela ends the 5th inning with his 4th strikeout. Yankees threaten to come up empty. No runs to hit. Leave a couple. We played 4.5. And it's still Yankees 4, Dodgers 3. Bottom of the 5th inning. The Yankees leading 4-3 with Garvey, Say, and Guerrero. George Frazier on in relief of the starter Dave Righetti. He's worked 2 innings, hasn't given up a run, yielded just 1 hit, 1 strikeout. 1-0.
Crowd grows restive, trying to get something started.
Garvey hits a chopper that Rodriguez gloves, comes up throwing, but pulls Watson off. Garvey had it beaten anyway. So a chopping infield single for Garvey, and the Dodgers have the leadoff man on base here in the bottom of the 5th inning.
That was an interesting hit.
Well, this is why they don't like sinker balls or ball pitchers on AstroTurf. The same on a hard infield. It's a good sinker. He just hits it straight down. but he hits it hard. Rodriguez makes a nice play getting to it. Probably double if he doesn't. Really just a hope throw. Garvey beats it easily.
So the crowd alive now with Say at the plate. 3-run homer and a walk. Breaking pitch over for a strike, and it's 0-1. 1-1 to count. Outside. 2-1 to count.
No action yet in the Yankee bullpen.
Say, Ron's White. Harvey at first base. We'll see if Steve goes. He does, and the pitch is inside. The Bookman at first and second. Ron Say aboard for the third consecutive time. The Dodgers with runners at first and second and nobody out. And now the Yankee bullpen will get busy, with Pedro Guerrero coming up in a similar situation in the third inning. He was sent up there to bunt, couldn't deliver, and then swung away with 2 strikes and struck out. So here we go again with Guerrero.
Well, this is an interesting time for Thomas Lasorda. Obviously, the play is a bunt.
Watson's coming charging on you. Don't let him charge you. Knock the ball by the first baseman. Come on.
Every managerial command in a one-run game like this is magnified, and every at-bat is scrutinized.
Obviously, the play is a bunt. But you saw Lasorda mouth the words he can't bunt.
Guerrero up there to swing away, takes outside. In the Yankee bullpen, right-hander Ron Davis. May, the left-hander.
Important thing a manager can do is knowing the capability of his players, and I can't imagine that Lasorda didn't know that he couldn't bunt after watching him play for a couple of years.
Swings away again. It's a chopper by Rodriguez for a base hit. Garvey around third. He scores to tie it. On his way to second is Guerrero standing. He's safe.
You think luck isn't important? Mr. Rickey, Branch Rickey, once said luck is the residue of design. I have seen 2 hits, both choppers, both on a concrete-like infield, go over a third baseman's head.
Well, the only reason this ball goes over his head is because he's in for the bunt. You can see him about 3 or 4 steps in front of the bag. Had it not been a bunt situation, he's probably going to catch the ball, step on third, maybe get the force at second base for a double play.
Still a lot of luck.
No doubt about it.
Game tied with Say at third, Guerrero at second. Still no one out of the inning, and Rick Monday, who has singled and fly to left. And they'll walk Monday intentionally to load them up and go to work on Sosa. So with first base open, they'll put Rick on. And the Dodgers, with the game tied 4-4, will have the bases loaded. Nobody out, and their number 8 hitter coming up.
Of course, the reasoning behind this is they want to try to get a quick 2 outs with a double play. They'll give them the run, stay away from the big inning. Maybe force Lasorda to either stay with Valenzuela or pinch hit for him. And they have some action in the Dodger bullpen right now.
Here comes Len.
Lemon strolling to the mound. He has May and Davis in the pen.
For this batter, he will use May. After that, maybe another change.
Frazier effective against Oakland in the championship series, and effective tonight as he came on in relief of Righetti in the third. Gave up a base hit in the fourth, and the call goes out for Rudy May. They'll bring in the left-hander to face Sosa. So as May makes his way in, we'll be back with more from Dodger Stadium after after this word from our local stations. Rudy May, the veteran, he's been around a long time, but this is his first World Series appearance. Those are his figures for the regular season. After leading the American League in earned run average in 1980, he ballooned to a 4.14 mark and comes in here to face Mike Scioscia. Waiting there with the score tied 4-4 and the bases loaded, nobody out. Bottom of the 5th inning. Scioscia, as you can see, has had very little difficulty against left-handers this season.
So much for the notion of platooning. But I've discovered a new weapon. Once I discussed in this ballpark with Tom Seaver, who had made a study of the geology of the ballparks, the whole texture and context of this infield, and indeed the pitcher's mound and the area around home plate.
Bases loaded. Ron Cey, the runner at third. That's Pedro Guerrero at second. And Rick Monday at first. Mike Scioscia didn't start tonight. Came up to pinch hit for Yeager in the 3rd inning and grounded out. And in the on-deck circle, Reggie Smith to bat for Valenzuela.
And Rudy May is known for the American League for his curveball. Excellent curveball, fastball, and changeup. If there's anything that made trouble him occasionally is his control.
Yankee infield double play depth. And Cerrone saving a run here. A very appropriate statement at that particular point as May throws one in the dirt.
Well, that was a hard breaking ball, and for him to get Scioscia out and be effective, he's going to have to get his breaking ball over.
Bouncing ball fielded by Randolph. He gets one and over to first for 2. They get the double play, but the Dodgers take the lead. Cey comes in to score, but what May has done is avoid perhaps the big inning. The Dodgers on top 5-4.
And I think we're going to see Fernando. Reggie Smith's kind of going back to the dugout.
Smith was out on deck, but it looked like it could be a very big Dodger inning. Now 2 down. And the runner at third, Guerrero. And we're waiting for Fernando to emerge from the Dodger dugout, and here he comes. So the double play or a grand slam homer might have been the only thing that would keep Fernando in the game.
Well, Tommy Lasorda is gambling. He's got a 1-run lead. Fernando did pitch better in the 4th and the 5th. But I'm not so sure the way he's throwing that the 1 run's going to be enough.
That graphic confirms what you've been told by all of us with regard to Valenzuela's hitting ability.
Little chopper hit toward short. Milburn on the run. Throws high, but a toe dance done by Watson, and the inning is over.
I was waiting to see if that ball would bounce over Milburn's head.
2 runs, a couple of hits, and a man left on. So the Dodgers have come from behind, and after 5 complete innings of play,
Another reminder, ladies and gentlemen,
the Dodgers on top 5-4.
Guerrero's L.A. chop to third base and a double play ground out by Mike Scioscia produce a pair of critical Dodger runs and swing the 1-run edge back to the home team.
6th inning. Willie Randolph drawn 2 walks and grounded out. He's 0 for 1. 1-0 the count. Valenzuela with a 1-0 pitch that misses low and inside. 2-0. 3-0 the count.
Well, Valenzuela falling behind again. Each team has left a man on in each of its innings. You wonder how long this young man can get away with it. He would not have been in there without the National League rule. No designated hit.
3-1. You like that rule, don't you?
No, I don't. I'll tell you.
You said before you liked the DH.
Oh, I like the DH. Yeah, I thought you referred to the National League.
That's a strike. I don't know. I've got to take the contrary opinion, Howard. It just takes too much strategy away from the game. I thought it was fascinating the other day in Montreal.
Strategy to walking a guy.
The strategy the other day in Montreal was fascinating. Do you take Burris out, pinch hit for him, which Fanning did? Rogers comes in, gives up a home run. You don't see that in the American League. Randolph draws another walk as Steve Howe is throwing in the Dodger bullpen. Randolph has drawn 3 walks tonight. Winfield has drawn 2, and Milburn's been walked twice intentionally. So overall, Valenzuela has walked 7, and Lasorda is going to take a walk to the mound. So Randolph aboard. Walking, of course, is nothing new to Willie, who led the league in walks last year with 119 and hit 57 to lead the club this season.
He's struggling, isn't he?
He's all right, Tom.
Huh?
He's all right.
Como te sientes? ¿Cansado? ¿Ah? ¿Está bien? ¿Estás seguro?
Got it down anyway.
All right, come on, vamos. Double play, come on. Con cojones, come on. Go.
Abandoned by the tools of his craft, Valenzuela is surviving, but it's survival on heart and hope.
There he goes. Screwball is swung on and missed, and the throw is a beauty. Socha to Lopes to take care of Randolph.
Big play there.
Well, it's high screwball. Fernando did his job, got rid of the ball quickly, and Socha makes a fine throw. One of the better throwing catchers in the National League. That's the one thing the Dodger pitching staff benefits from.
And that's called strike 3. So just like that, bang, bang, 2 quick outs. In the 6th inning, and Dave Winfield, the batter. 5 strikeouts for Valenzuela. Winfield has walked twice and struck out. He's 0 for 1. And still looking for his first hit in the series. 0 for 8 in the 3 games. One hopper to Shea. And the Yankees done in the 6th. No runs, no hits, and nobody left on. At the end of 5.5, it remains 5-4 Dodgers. The Dodgers on top 5-4 as we go to the bottom of the 6th inning. Valenzuela has gone all the way for Los Angeles. We have seen Righetti, Frazier, and May for New York. Al Michaels with Howard Cosell, Jim Palmer. Bottom of the 6th inning, Davey Lopes, Bill Russell, and Dusty Baker. Davey Lopes a double in the 1st inning and scored on Shay's homer. Hits one into left field for a base hit. Davey now 2 for 3 on the night, and that's 9 hits for the Dodgers.
Well, Lemon had a choice to make. Neither Jim nor I thought he'd come in with May to start this inning. His job now as the manager is keep this score, keep this a one-run ball game.
Well, I think you'll see Bill Russell try to advance the runner either with a hit and run or a bunt. And then I think we'll probably see Ron Davis.
Nothing cooking right now in the New York bullpen. Russell 2 for 3. Rodriguez in shallow at 3rd as May throws over to drop Lopes back. The Dodgers already with 9 hits, equaling their total in the first 2 games in the series. And a nice save by Watson. Pitch out as Russell had squared, but Lopes remains at first base. 1-0. No trouble getting back to the bag.
Well, that wasn't Rudy May's good move. He has one where it looks like he's going home and it's coming to first. It's kind of borders on a balk move where a lot of of times it's decided by the interpretation of the umpire.
Lopes goes. Russell hits a fly ball to left field. Winfield camping underneath it. One out as Lopes retreats back to first.
Left fielder, Dusty.
One away in the sixth inning, and Dusty Baker, the batter. Dodgers have 9 hits tonight, but Dusty is hitless, and he's 1 for 9 now in the World Series.
There's a remarkable large screen in this ballpark. Have you watched it, Al?
Diamond Vision.
Yep, it's just a spectacular thing. Colored electron tubes, bright colors, bringing a vision, a visibility that's just astonishing. Clarity.
Probably the first of a new breed of boards. In for a strike, and the count is 0-1.
Well, it's certainly sharper than anyone in the American League.
There it is. Right now it's blank. Get your shot later when they're doing something up on it. 0-2, and that time May had Lopes going back to first base.
Well, Davey Lopes steals here. It's a testimony to how good a base runner he is, because Cerrone has a good arm and Rudy has a good pickoff move. He won't give him a running jump. I heard Davey Lopes give there's Fernando Valenzuela.
Looks a little tired, doesn't he?
Well, he's battling tonight. Give him a lot of credit.
Got him swinging. So Dusty Baker has gone on strikes. First strikeout for Rudy May. And Garvey coming up.
And here you see it looks like here's Rudy May's good curveball. Swings right through it. And that's really his out pitch.
But Steve Garvey comes up 2 for 3. Although I must say the last single, which took that horrendous bounce, was, as Seaver would have noted, a lesson of geology.
And a throw to first. Garvey, of course, with that consecutive game string. That is as impressive as anything to me when you think about it. Here we are in a World Series. Jackson's not playing. Minor injury. Nettles is not playing. Minor injury. Dent is out. Reggie Smith has been ailing this season, of course. And yet here's a man, Garvey, day in, day out over the years. Pops it up. Rodriguez. In foul ground. And so the Dodgers squander a leadoff single by Davey Lopes at the end of 6 complete at Los Angeles. Still 5-4 Dodgers. Word has it, Bob Uecker really is in the ballpark tonight. I think we found him. Uecker?
Thank you, Al. We're sitting here with Lee Majors, and you got a new series premiering next Wednesday if this World Series is over, called Fall Guy.
That's right, Bob, and it's going to be a very exciting series. It's about a stuntman who doubles people in the motion picture and television industry. And meanwhile, between jobs, he moonlights as a modern-day bounty hunter. I think the American public's going to love it. And I'm proud to be here with a man who hit 2 home runs off of Sandy Koufax.
Great to see you, Lee. Success to the series. Back to you, Al.
All right, Uecker.
He planted that line.
Uecker gave him $100 last night. That's why. Lou Piniella leads off for the Yankees as we go to the 7th inning. Piniella, Watson, and Cerrone against Valenzuela, who has tiptoed his way through 6, giving up 4 runs and 7 hits. It starts with a strike.
I think if I hit 2 home runs off Sandy Koufax, I'd let everybody know about it too, though.
Especially from the lips of a major star in the industry.
0-2 the count.
This kid has a reputation for getting stronger in the late going, and that reputation is being substantiated at this time because Valenzuela is looking stronger.
The 2-2 pitch. Piniella goes to right field, but it's an easy, lazy fly ball for Rick Monday. 1 down. A reminder that coming up tomorrow, NCAA college football, 2 regional telecasts. Nebraska taking on Missouri, Minnesota against Iowa. And that will precede the World Series at 4 Eastern, 3 Central, and 1 Pacific time from Dodger Stadium, where the scheduled matchup is Rick Russell and Bob Welch. Bob Watson homered, popped out, doubled, 2 for 3. 1-0 the count. Fernando Valenzuela, rookie season. Not making a whole lot of money because he was a rookie, but he certainly picked up a few bucks promotionally. Merv Griffin looking on in the crowd of 56,236, which is an all-time Dodger Stadium record. Driven to left field, Dusty Baker going all the way back to the fence and makes a catch against the boards. So Bob Watson comes that close to his second home run of the game and his third of the series.
I tell you, both sides are living dangerously. Look at this.
They sure are, but got to give Fernando some credit, because it's easy to go out there when all your pitches are working and you got good control and you can throw that screwball low and away when you want to. And that wasn't a particularly good pitch, but not too many 20-year-old pitchers would struggle through a game like this in a World Series and still be out there.
Popped in the air, shallow right center field. Lopes calling. That's that. First 1-2-3 inning for Fernando tonight. Yanks gone quickly. Middle of the 7th. 5-4 Los Angeles.
Since baseball time is measured only in outs, all you have to do is to succeed utterly. Keep hitting, keep the rally alive, and you've defeated time. You remain forever young. Baseball fever. Catch it. It's worth it.
The preceding message was furnished by Major League Baseball.
An odd set of numbers through 7 for Fernando Valenzuela, but he has the lead right now. Dodgers on top 5-4. And as the Dodgers come up in the bottom of the 7th inning, it'll be Say, Guerrero, and Monday facing Rudy May. Say, perfect night. 3-run homer to get the Dodgers started in the first. One hopper by Donovan Randolph for a base hit. Ron Say getting aboard for the 4th time tonight. Say, Garvey, Russell, and Lopes each with 2 hits tonight, and the Dodgers collectively with 10.
It's an interesting team, this Dodger team. They have a way of winning here at Dodger Stadium, and they have a way of fighting back. Watching them in practice today, they were as loose as any team you could ever want to see. They were having fun.
Pedro Guerrero. A double in the 5th inning to drive in a run. 1 for 2 tonight. 0-1 the count.
Special challenge for the Dodgers tonight. They had taken a quick 3-run lead. They had their young ace going, and they fell behind 4-3. And they still had the capacity to come back. Haven't won yet, of course, but they're proving themselves.
Well, the Yankees have not won a game all year that they trailed going into the 7th inning.
Very, very good statistic.
The 0-2 pitch. Fights it off and fouls it away.
And that's a statistic it's hard to believe.
It really is,
they have.
And they won 55 out of 56 when they went into the 7th leading.
Here you see a curveball down and in. They try to pitch Guerrero with a lot of breaking balls. He just gets a little bit of it.
Pedro hitting with a count, no balls and 2 strikes. And Darryl Thomas has come out on deck to bat for Rick Monday. So Guerrero still in some agony. Finally gets back in with a count, no balls and 2 strikes.
for Rudy Mays.
Interesting job done by this young man. Came in, looked like the Dodgers might blow the Yankees out. Bases loaded. Got the double play. That produced the present lead run. And he's been solid ever since. Gave up a hit in the 6th. He's given up a hit so far, but he gets the key outs.
Darryl Thomas, the switch hitter, batting for Rick Monday with 1 out and Say at first base. Grounded down to short. Over to Randolph for 1 and back to first for the double play. So Rudy May pitching very well in relief. The Dodgers are done in the 7th inning, and we will go to the 8th. 5-4 Los Angeles. Back with more after this word from our local stations. As we go to the 8th inning for the Dodgers, Darryl Thomas, who pinch hit and bounced into the double play, stays in the game in center field. Pedro Guerrero, who was in center, moves to right. Dodgers on top, 5-4. And in the 8th inning for the Yankees, bottom of the order, you've got Rodriguez, Milburn, and then the pitcher's spot. Aurelio Rodriguez starting in place of the injured Greg Nettles tonight. Nettles hopeful of coming back tomorrow. Aurelio 1 for 3. Line to left field, and Dusty Baker has to play it on a hop. So the Yankees get the leadoff man on in the top of the 8th.
It's in a way ironic that on the night Nettles is out, the Dodgers get their lead hitting chopping ground balls that bad hop over the third baseman's head.
And Rodriguez filling in offensively, doing the job tonight. 2 for 4 as Larry Milburn takes a long look at Joe Altobelli, the third base coach. Barry Foote has come out on deck for the Yankees. It's swung on and hit foul outside third. Ron Cey was about 70 feet from home plate, expecting a possible bunt. And Milburn whizzed it by him. So Rodriguez comes back to first.
It's like a high breaking ball, and Fernando's lucky that it's just a little bit foul. And you can see the depth there of Cey there, way in for the bunt.
The young man has the courage and the stamina that you've suggested, Jim, but he's been hit hard tonight.
Hit off the end of the bat on the ground down to Lopes, and Davey can't make the play. Runners at first and second. Lopes pushed over toward the middle on a bouncing ball. A slow sliver cued off the end of the bat to the right side. And the Yankees with runners at first and second and nobody out.
Look at it again, and Milburn does it again, hitting behind the runner.
Well, that was his intent. It was a high screwball in the middle of the plate. Ball spinning away from Lopes. Difficult play.
That's how in the bullpen. Barry Foote had been out on deck, but as of the moment, you've got Willie Randolph out there. He would be the next hitter. Lemon's going to go to the bench. And of course, if Lasorda is going to make any move, he will first wait for the Yankees to announce their pinch hitter. So the next move belongs to New York. There is Davis. Now he will come into pitch in the bottom of the 8th inning, as Lemon will be going to his bench.
I think he's taking a poll to see who can bunt.
Bobby Mercer can bunt.
Yeah.
Lefty or righty, Bobby Mercer can bunt.
And it could be Merce. It is. There he is at the bat rack. Putting in the jaw. Bobby Mercer. First World Series for Bobby. Here's Lasorda. Tommy checking over the lineup card posted on the back wall.
Doesn't quite know what to do with himself, and he certainly is a colorful fellow.
That he is. He's got a tough decision to make. I would think that if he's going to go to the bullpen, Steve Howe, who throws somewhere in the low 90-mile-per-hour range, would be much more difficult to bunt for Bobby Mercer than Fernando.
Mercer, interestingly enough, did not have one sacrifice during the regular season. When called upon the other evening, he was able to lay one down in the 7th inning of Game 2. And here he comes.
Well, Lasorda is going to stick it out all the way with Fernando.
Runners at first and second, and nobody out. Mercer tries to lay one down, and Shea makes a diving catch and foul ground, throws to first, double play. Ron Shea.
Interesting change of events right here as you look at it again. Mercer got the bunt up in the air. Shea playing in. Fine diving catch. And Milburn far off the bag.
Milburn getting caught after Shea makes a great play. So all of a sudden 2 down. Rodriguez at second, and the pitch to Randolph is a strike. 0-1.
Might be some second guessing on that, Jim.
Well, it's no excuse for being doubled up on that play. You have
exactly.
A play in front of you. I've seen runners on second base get picked off when the batter bunts through the ball, but.
Ron Shea making the play at third.
Together with his 3-run home run in the first inning, quite a night for the Penguin.
3-1 pitch is chopped toward third. It's a fair ball, and Shea will make the out on the bases. Ron Shea tagging Rodriguez. So the Yankees at first and second, nobody out, and that's that.
Well, this is another bad base running play by Rodriguez. He has to wait. Just makes a mistake, and these are the mental mistakes that George Steinbrenner was talking about.
And George is not happy at this moment. His face full of scowls. We'll be back.
When the Yankees get 2 runners on in the 8th, it's a further test of Lasorda's trust. Despite having given up 9 hits and a career-high 7 walks, Valenzuela is left in to face Bobby Mercer, the American League's most productive pinch hitter.
Bobby, the left-hand hitter, was a pinch hitter in the 7th inning of the 2nd game in Sacrifice. He does in the air, and a diving catch by Shea. Throws to Garvey, and they double up Milburn. It's a great play, great play.
Shea's brilliant play squelches a Yankee rally and caps a perfect day for number 10, both in the field and at bat.
In the pitch for the Yankees is Ron Davis as we go to the bottom of the 8th inning. The Yankees with a golden opportunity and 2 base running blunders in the top of the inning and come up empty.
Well, look at this. Rodriguez was on second, no one on first. He shouldn't be coming down. A long, tough throw for Shea it would have been to get the batter, who was Randolph, a speedster. And that followed in the wake of Milburn being amazingly down the line toward second. He had been on first, another runner on second, nobody out when Mercer attempted to bunt. It was picked off on a great play by Shea, but should not have been a double play. Terrible base run.
The Yankees running themselves out of the inning as Sosa looks at a strike, and the count is 0-1. Sosa, Valenzuela, and Lopes for the Dodgers here in the bottom of the 8th. Davis, even with nobody on base, will work out of a stretch, feeling more comfortable this way. And Sosa rips it into right center, so now we'll have to definitely work out of a stretch. Man on. Mike Laborde and Valenzuela coming up.
You can see, and this hasn't been a gem.
No, but he deserves it.
Exactly.
Gutty.
Gutty performance all the way. Luck be your lady tonight. A song that Sinatra once made popular. And he had to have that luck tonight, but he had to have more than that.
Fernando lays down a pretty decent looking bunt, but to throw it second in time there and not in time at first base. Rodriguez coming down quickly and coming up firing to second. So Milburn covers. The play goes 5-6, one gone.
Well, and here you'll see Aurelio Rodriguez's arm. He does make a good bunt. Now the problem is that Rodriguez has a great arm, and so she doesn't run very well. And the ball just beats him. Almost get a double play. But Fernando, this may affect him in the ninth inning. He's hustling. He's got to be a little tired.
Looking ahead to the ninth inning, when the Yankees come up, they have Mumphrey, Winfield, and Piniella.
And here you see Davey Lopes is taking his time to try to give Fernando a rest.
Time-honored tradition. Leadoff man giving the pitcher some extra time. One away. Lopes 2 for 3 plus a sacrifice. One and 0. 1-1 the count. Got the corner, and the count is 2-2. Foul tip and held by Cerrone, and Lopes is gone. 2 away in the 8th inning, and that brings up Bill Russell.
Well, they didn't make any physical errors, Al, but they sure made 2 mental ones.
On the base paths.
Tonight.
They also made a physical one when they gave Monday a hit in the first inning on that little bounder off Watson.
Well, that didn't count then.
I know.
Russell takes outside, ball 1. Dodgers got 3 in the first. The Yankees scoring twice in the second, twice in the third to go in front. The Dodgers with 2 in the fifth to go ahead 5-4 as Russell pops it up. Out on the grass, Milburn. And so Davis does his job here in the 8th inning. The Dodgers with no runs, 1 hit, leave 1. Mumphrey, Winfield, and Piniella will be coming up in the top of the 9th inning in Game 3 with the score, Dodgers 5, Yankees 4.
The preceding message was furnished by Major League Baseball.
Saturday, exciting regional action on NCAA college football. In a Big 8 battle, the 11th-ranked Nebraska Cornhuskers tackle Missouri, which boasts a 5-1 record. Also, Rose Bowl-hungry Iowa, 6th-ranked in the nation and leading the Big Ten, attacks Minnesota. The Hawkeyes are the surprise team of the season, having beaten Michigan, Nebraska, and UCLA earlier this year, plus other regional games. Don't miss NCAA college football Saturday on ABC.
College football followed tomorrow by the World Series Game 4. Al Michaels, Howard Cosell, Jim Palmer, statistician Alan Roth at Dodger Stadium in the bullpen. Steve Howe is the left-hander, and Dave Stewart is the right-hander. As we go to the 9th inning, the Dodgers on top 5-4 with Mumphrey, Winfield, and Piniella facing Valenzuela.
Minnesota wanting to go all the way with his kid.
Mumphrey 0 for 4. Hasn't hit the ball out of the infield tonight. 0-1 the count.
That's why Milburn's play was so costly. Mumphrey's been the outman tonight.
Low, and the count is 1-1.
They at least gotten him up from the Yankees' point of view last inning. Now you know that you're going to get to Watson, who's been the hot man.
1-1 pitch. Late swing and a miss. 1-2. Lasorda with Ron Paranowski Lemon with Clyde King. 1-2 the count. Valenzuela going all the way. Nothing new for Fernando. Led the league this season with 11 complete games. Fouled away.
Really got him waving.
Well, there you saw a good screwball. He struck him out last time on a high fastball, and he's got him to bounce out to short. Back to him on both the curveball and a screwball. So Jerry looks a little bit confused and doesn't really know what's coming.
Scroogie just outside. You can see the shoulder shrug of Terry Cooney as if he was thinking about calling it strike 3. But no.
Mr. Mumphrey is lucky to still be up there.
Here's the 2-2 pitch. Shot to the right side. An easy play for Davey Lopes. 1 away. So Mumphrey 0 for 5 tonight. And Winfield, the batter, who's 0 for 2, has walked twice and still looking for that elusive first hit in the World Series.
No question. That hurt the New York Ball Club tonight. They'll replay this ball game a lot of ways.
Right now, the 1-run difference, the result of a double play in the 5th inning. Swing and a miss. And the double play that Mike Scioscia hit into probably kept Valenzuela in the game, because it was Reggie Smith who was out on deck at that point.
And what he's been doing today, Winfield, he got him to ground to third and struck him out on screwballs. It just makes his other pitch a little bit better. There you see a fastball away, just missed.
1 ball, 1 strike on Winfield. On deck is Piniella. Winfield not only hitless in the World Series, but as you can see, going back to the championship series. 2 for his last 27. 1 ball, 2 strikes the count. Winfield hits a high drive to right center field. Guerrero is there. 2 gone. Two out, and Dodger Stadium really rocking now as Lou Piniella comes to the plate. All-time stadium record crowd, 56,236. Valenzuela in and out of trouble all night in a ball game that right now is at the 3-hour mark. Piniella, 1 for 4, 3rd inning single.
Cooney, he was a little worried about the call on that one.
Well, it was a good screwball outside corner.
You know, they're totally right about this kid. There is amazing poise there.
2-0 the count.
20-year-old.
Well, he did get 2 outs in Montreal, and he got very fine on Monday. He had Carter and Parrish up, both home run hitters. I wouldn't categorize Lou as a home run hitter. It certainly has the capabilities of doing that. Now he's 2-0 on him.
And Lou looks for the strike, so the count is 2-1.
Perfect compliment to a pitcher is anybody, like I said earlier, can win when you have everything going. But when you don't have your good stuff and you still go out and you end up winning.
Fouled away. 2 balls, 2 strikes the count. Lou no strike away man.
Well, he swung defensively then. He did not hit his pitch. He hit Fernando's pitch.
If Piniella could keep it going, Watson would be next. 2-2 with 2 out, bases empty in the 9th. 5-4 Dodgers.
Crowd standing now as one, exhorting the rookie on.
Two pitch. threw 149 pitches tonight. That wasn't one for the Art Museum, but it was efficient, and he got the job done. And the Dodgers now trail 2-1, winning 5-4. Back at Dodger Stadium after this commercial and a word from our local station. Ron Cey, 3-run homer in the first. Dodgers win at 5-4. Bob Uecker's on the field with the Dodgers third baseman.
Thank you very much, Al. Ron Cey with a big 3-run homer tonight in the first inning, and sparkling defensively tonight. Ronnie, you got to be feeling good. 2-1 now. Yankees still lead.
Well, Bob, we don't do things very easy, as you can tell. We've had ourselves in this position throughout the whole year, especially in the playoffs, and we're just glad that Fernando could continue on. He was in trouble the whole night, as you could tell. He really didn't have his good stuff, and I'm quite sure they probably felt they could score more, but he was tough down the stretch, and after they scored those early 4 runs, he really did a job.
Solid game, Ronnie. We'll do it again tomorrow. Back to Al.
All right, Uke. So the Yankees now leading in the series 2-1. Dodgers win it 5-4. Back in a moment.
And now the final chapter is about to be written in the unlikely saga of the unflappable rookie and his emotional manager.
Fernando! Tapatiando!
This 5-4 win is a testament to the power of positive thinking, the emotion of Dodger fans, and the courage of a remarkable rookie. The Dodgers' comeback mission no longer seems impossible.
Again, the final score of tonight's game, the Dodgers 5 and the Yankees 4. Be sure to join us here tomorrow on ABC for NCAA college football live at 12:30 Eastern. Then live at 4 Eastern, Game 4 of the 78th World Series. Blimp provided by the Goodyear Tire and Rubber Company. Travel arrangements made through and a promotional fee paid by United Airlines. United flies more people to Hawaii than any other airline. That's what friendly skies are all about. Tonight's game has been a presentation of ABC Sports, recognized around the world as the leader in sports television.